Why hello there, players of video games! In reality, we at Push Square currently find ourselves in the post-Gamescom slump, which is the period after the German show commits a smash-and-grab attack on our energy reserves, but before Tokyo Game Show comes and plants a bomb in their place. However, in Metaphor Land, there's nothing to worry about, as Gamescom fades in the rearview mirror of our unstoppable news and reviews all-terrain vehicle. TGS is the unsuspecting woodland creature caught in our headlights. Yes, the bumper-mounted circular saws of reporting justice are going to turn it into manageable, easy-to-consume news burgers. Metaphors. In the meantime, however, we've been busying ourselves playing video games to help you decide which ones are worth your precious, precious time. Here's our top 5 from August.
Oh, Diablo 3, says the surprisingly video game savvy man on the street. That's, that PC game they're always banging on about, innit?
In it indeed. After making its console debut last year, Diablo corrupted the PS4 in August, bringing with it a new expansion, Reaper of Souls. Now, not only can you while away the hours slaughtering thousands of undead with your friends before ultimately taking on, blessed be his name, Diablo himself, but when you're done, you get to lead a campaign against Death, who, from the trailers at least, has stolen a big old angry mineral that's probably full of mega anger, or super death, or heifer horror, you know, Grim Reaper things. Fighting against the dual forces of the devil and death? Sounds a lot like, oh, I don't know, Every Day, but with graphics, and you get to respawn. Pink is the colour of Infamous First Light, largely because that's the colour of Fetch's hair, but also that's what Neon looks like, apparently. Yep, Delsin's mopey muse has been celebrated with her own origin story. The sizable downloadable experience doesn't actually require you to own Infamous Second Son, which is nice, and it serves to neatly explain why Fetch is bloody angry at absolutely everyone and everything. Beginning with her incarceration within the DUP super prison, she's forced by concrete-powered Mega Witch Augustine to hone her powers and become some sort of super weapon. Obviously, she ends up escaping, and clearly she ends up sharing her pink fury with Delsin Rowe. But regardless, it's an enjoyable romp through Sucker Punch's gorgeous PS4 sandbox. Plus, we get to go back to Seattle again, and we all know how much we were looking forward to that. Right? Guys? Anyone? No? Okay. I get so confused by the less mainstream JRPGs. There are always about 20 of them, they have similar names, and they continuously surprise me when they're announced as they seem to have been out for ages already. Let's see how that stacks up against Tales of Xillia 2. Is it less mainstream? Well, yes, in so much that it's unlikely to draw new players in that aren't already invested in it. Are there 20 in the series? Not quite, but there are 13. Do they have the same name? Well, they all begin with Tales of, which I suppose is probably preferable to the fiscally driven snorefest that have been the numerically titled Final Fantasy games of recent years. And finally, has it been out for ages? Well, yeah, it has actually. But that's forgivable. Its original release may have been in 2012, but it was in Japanese. Have you played a JRPG? Those games take a long time to beat, which probably explains the time it took to localize a script with the thickness of several phone books. Now it occurs to me that I always seem to take an unfavourable view of Japanese games that hold no interest to me. Firstly, this is my platform, so na-na-di-na-na, and secondly, it's largely ignorance. These games don't interest me, and I know nothing about them, so it's hard to write positive words, particularly when you consider how wacky a lot of Eastern games are when compared to Western productions. If you're looking forward to this one, then good for you, but I can't say I understand why. Graphics are nice though. Yeah? Nice. Making the leap from mobile to console isn't always an easy job. Unless you're mother-flipping PopCap! Yes, after earning a stack of money high enough to build a mile-wide replica of a $100 bill out of $100 bills, PopCap have taken their botany-based zombicide simulator to PlayStation consoles, but not in the form that you might recognize. Originally releasing on Xbox earlier this year, its successful release not only proves that the property has the stuff to excel as a third-person team-based shooter, but also that Sony had a retaliation plan for Microsoft's theft of the Tomb Raider property. You hear that, Microsoft? You may have temporarily pulled off a questionable and hugely anti-consumer move with immense financial backing to steal away one of the most beloved gaming icons that PlayStation has, but we've got your Plants vs. Zombies. And so have you, technically, but the point is it's not exclusive anymore. Ooh. Showed them. We were never treated to the subterranean delights of Metro 2033 on PlayStation consoles, which saw protagonist Artyom taking up arms in the metro tunnels of a post-apocalyptic Moscow. Based upon the novel from Russian author Dmitry Glukovsky, the Metro has fallen into chaos since humans sought shelter there following a nuclear attack, with rival factions all trying to seize control, while on the surface, hellish beasts roam freely and the air is unbreathable. With Metro Last Light, PlayStation fans finally got their chance to go underground with the series' rich lore, and this very editor reviewed it. The sequel introduced countless improvements over its predecessor, in particular, using your hand as a makeshift windscreen wiper for your gas mask. Whoa! Now they come bundled together and remastered as Metro Redux, which is a stupid and confusing name for Johnny Public, but whatever, it's really good. The level of detail and oft-ignored aspects of survival horror-esque games, including checking your oxygen levels, winding up your torch and inspecting your watch to see when you need to replace your gas mask filter, really brings a world full of death to life. Forcing such cheesy lines out of us would usually result in a game's absolute condemnation, but in this particular case, we're going to let it slide. Was your particular game of choice from August not on this list? Let us know all about it in the rectangular shouting boxes below, and thanks for watching.